Hi everyone, in this video we're going to discuss about the Taylor series, Taylor and Maclaurin series, which is basically power series in X if you like. So Taylor series and Maclaurin series have a lot of application in science and engineering. These are couple of things that I listed in physics, in electrical engineering, in control system, thermodynamics, computer science, chemical engineering. For example, it can be used in reaction kinetics or in chemical reaction, in which that we can set up a model of reaction rates under different conditions. And then there are also other applications in aerospace engineering, biomedical engineering. For example, it can be used to model physiological systems and analyze biological processes, as well as in environmental engineering for fluid dynamics, in which it can be used to study fluid flow in various environmental systems. So what is the general formula of the Taylor and Maclaurin series? As I said, this is just like previous discussion on power series, but as you can see, it is expressed as power series in X. This is our X here, and the difference between Taylor and Maclaurin series is only on the center, where Maclaurin series, the center here, X naught, okay, in this case equals to 0, whereas Taylor Maclaurin series centered at 0, whereas Taylor series centered at a particular point. In here it's given as x naught to be the center of the series, just like in the previous discussion when we finding radius and interval of convergence of power series. So that's the same center is used in Taylor series and Maclaurin series. So this is the general formula for Taylor series. I would describe this as for this part here, okay, this part and up to the n factorial here to be the coefficient of the x, okay, of whatever the x and the center of x here to the power of n. And the same thing in Maclaurin series, I would describe this as a coefficient, okay, and we will need to find what is the coefficient later on, just like in the previous example. So as you can see here, in Maclaurin's, the function is basically x to the n, whereas in Taylor series basically x minus a center, a value raised to the power of n, whereas in Maclaurin's is x minus 0. So because the center is basically 0, so it's just x to the power of n. And then the other terms here highlighted in yellow is essentially the same or similar, except that in Taylor series we need to apply the x naught, which is the center, okay, of the series, into the function f to the n here, divided by n factorial. So f raised to the n, actually this is not raised to the n, yeah? This is actually derivative. Yeah, this is a little bit misleading here. F raised to the power of n is not like n the same, well it is the same n here, but it's more towards derivative. So if I say f1, meaning it's the first derivative of the function rather than f to the power of 1, and then similarly f2 meaning the second derivative of the function at at the value of x naught, which is the center, and then divided by n factorial. This is starting from n equals to 0 of the summation up to infinity, and then we try to expansion here to expand the series in the form whatever is described in this formula here. Okay, for example, let's start with the Maclaurin's. Okay, in the Maclaurin we know that the center is 0, so f to the power of 0 is basically 1, okay, or basically the function itself is already confusing. The function itself at point 0, so we need to substitute the x equals to 0 in the function and then divide it by 0 factorial because it's starting from 0, and then x raised to the power of 0 in the beginning. That's why in here is basically there is actually x, okay, there is x to the power of 0 in there, but x to the power of 0 equals to 1, so we don't need to write it down. So at the beginning, this is f function, the value of the function at point 0 multiplied by x to the power of 0, which is 1. Okay, and then the next term, okay, f derivative of first derivative of the function at point 0 multiplied by x. So as you can see here, again, this is basically the coefficient, this is also coefficient, and then this is also highlighted is coefficient, and then the third one here, coefficient. So again, let me just write down everything. So maybe we should write down here, yellow is the coefficient, maybe write down here, or maybe on the right or here, what does it matter. Yellow equals to coefficient of x, okay, coefficient of x, and then green is the series. Green is the power series in x. Power series in x. So this applies to both the Taylors and the Maclaurens. The yellow terms is our coefficients and the green term is our power series. So there is actually here, and then this is the power series in x, this is also power series in x. So this is our x, there is an x here, okay, and there is an x there at center 0, and there is also x there at center 0. Right, that's pretty much it for the introductions. Okay, so if we can understand this, oh, there is some stuff here also, okay, at 3 factorial, and then this is the power series in x at 3 factorial. So we can say that this is our zeroth term, but this is considered first term. Okay, first term, second term, and then this is third terms. Wait a minute, mistake. All of this is actually the second terms, and then all of this is the third term, the fourth term, and so on. So sometimes the question asking you write down the first 4 non-zero terms of Taylor series of a particular function. For example, in that case you need to list the series or need to write down the Taylor series expansion, okay, starting from the first, the second, the third, and the fourth, as long as they are non-zero, then you can do so using this formula. Okay, the coefficient, the series, coefficient, series, coefficient, series, coefficient, series, and so on. That indicates that the series go up to the infinity. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. The one below here is step by step, basically how to find the Taylor and Maclaurin series for a certain function. The first step is to find the f, and then first derivative, the second derivative, and so on. So that's what the f here I'm talking about. So this is the zero derivative, basically the original function, if you like, the first derivative, the second derivative, and then put that whatever the center value there in in the function. Okay, and then similarly for Maclaurin's, we don't have to use the center, so basically directly substitute 0 into the function. Okay, give you the coefficient at the original function, first derivative coefficient, second derivative coefficient, third derivative coefficient, and so on. Alright, so second step, substitute step 1 into the Taylor and Maclaurin series, which is all these things. Okay, and then finally simplify. Okay, we will do a couple of example. Okay, so this is a question asking to find the Taylor series expansion for the function f of x as ln x, or the function of ln x basically, center at c equals to 1. So as mentioned, Taylor series have a center value. If it is 0, then it is Maclaurin series. Okay. So you can do the same thing. I mean, if you substitute c, okay, equals to 0, then it is the same as Maclaurin's. C equals to 1. So yeah, as the step-by-step mentioned, we should find the function, the value of the function at whatever the value is. In this case, the center at 1. Okay. Let me just write down the original function. F of x was ln x, and therefore the first derivative of x is 1 over x. Just write down like that. The second derivative of the function is, well, this is negative 1 over x squared, basically the second derivative. Let me just write down clearly here. 1 over x, sorry guys, it's a mess. 1 over x, and then negative second derivative, basically you can say this if you want, x to the power of minus 1, therefore the second derivative is simply negative, negative 1 x to the minus 2 if you want. Okay, same thing. And then third derivative, 1, 2, 3 of the original function is just continue on. Okay, you got for example here negative 1 times negative 1 times become positive 1 eventually. Okay, so just write down directly 2x negative 3 directly. And then the fourth derivative, just in this case we can use letter 4 or number 4 rather. Okay, so become negative 6 x negative 4. And then let me make some rooms. Let's just leave it like that for the moment. Leave it until 4. Which should be enough, okay, to write down the power series expansion. Sorry, let me just tidy up things a little bit. And then the second step is to find the value, which was, what was it? For example, center at 1, therefore we just substitute. Okay, f of 1, how do I write this? F of 1 is, let me just write down arrow like that. F of 1 equals to ln x, then it must be 0. Ln 1, okay, ln 1, and therefore equals to 0. And then the next one, this one, f, the first derivative of x is x to the power of 1, or simply become, well, 1 over x, 1 over 1 is simply 1. Okay, and then the second derivative at x equals to 1, negative 1, then negative 1. Maybe I should write down here so it's clear a bit. So negative 1 over 1 to the power of 2 if you want, so it becomes negative 1. And then for the third derivative become of 1, sorry, 1 to the power of 3 doesn't matter, so it still become 2. I hope you understand. 2 times 1 to the power of negative 3 doesn't matter, it still become 2. And then the fourth derivative, this is not to the power of 4 by the way, is simply negative 6, 1 to the power of negative 4 doesn't matter, so it become negative 6. So that's the coefficient. Okay, so those are our coefficient. Let me just highlight it in yellow to make things clear. And then we are ready to put them in the Taylor series expansion using the formula. Let me just again make some room. So if you remember the formula, our function was ln x. Let me just go back together. This is the Taylor series. Okay, so we are looking at here, okay, and the yellow part. Okay, at x not equals to 1, what is the value? What value of the function? What's the coefficient? Time nothing, or 1 basically here, the first term, and then the second derivative, okay, the third, and so on. So the first derivative here actually divided by, if you want, this is actually, okay, I put it in black color, this is actually 1 factorial, and then this is 0 factorial. 0 factorial by convention is same as 1. Okay, exactly. This is 0 factorial, and then this is 1 factorial. So you can see the patterns: 0 factorial, 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial, and so on. So you can see the patterns, which makes it easy to write. Let's just write down in our first problem that we have. Just write down. Oops. Yeah, I think we can write in black. The value of the function at, in this case, 1 times x to the power of 0, the first term, okay, divided by 0 factorial if you want, okay, and then the first derivative at 1 times x minus 1 to the power of 1, this one is 1 factorial, plus the second derivative at 1 divided by 2 factorial times x minus 1 raised to the power of 2. So we just do until 3 or maybe 4, okay, because we have the data. This is the third derivative at 1 divided by 3 factorial. All of these are the coefficient, and then our series is x minus 1 to the power of 3. Not enough space, let me put the below here. F4 at x equals to 1, try just put 1 directly, and then divided by 4 factorial multiply by x minus 1 to the power of 4, and then dot. I think that should be enough. Okay, so we can say that our function ln x Taylor expansion series is, for the first one we have f1 0, so the whole thing becomes 0. Okay, oh, this is, I forgot to fix this problem by the way. This is x minus 1 to the power of 0, which is basically 1. 1 is multiplied by 0 become 0. So as you can see, now you have the patterns at the first term, because the Taylor series started at 0. As you can see here, started at n equals to 0 until infinity. So you can put 0 the first term as the first term, and then as you can see here, the first term is f1, okay, equals to 0. So 0 multiplied by x minus 1, and the whole thing will simply be 0. Okay. Maybe I should put a little bit below, or bring this up a little bit. Don't mind. Okay, the first term is 0. The other thing might be good idea to highlight is the coefficient. Okay, all of the coefficient just in this first example. And then the power series in green. Power series in X. So now we are ready to substitute all the value. This is 0 multiplied by x minus 1 to the power of 0 divided by 0 factorial, whatever, the whole thing will become 0. Okay, the first derivative is 1. 1 divided by 1 is 1 factorial is simply 1, and therefore this simply be x minus 1 as the second terms. And then the first or second derivative is negative 1, so I should just put negative 1 directly. Negative of x minus 1 to the power of 2 over 2 factorial is 2. I should write down 2 factorial, and then the next term, the third derivative is positive 2. That give us positive 2 divided by 3 factorial times x minus 1 is our series in x to the power of 3, and then I think we can squeeze in our fourth derivative, which is 6 or negative 6. So put negative 6 x minus 1 to the power of 4 divided by 4 factorial. That's the power series expansion. Don't forget to write dots. Okay, let me just write down a little bit there to the dots, and can just write one more time ln x equals to 0, and then plus, in this case, x minus 1 times 1 factorial. If you like, this is to make it consistent. Okay, 1 factorial is simply 1, just write down 1, or just leave it factorial, doesn't matter, minus x minus 1 2 divided by 2 factorial. Okay, this is 0 factorial by the way, and then positive 2 divided by 3 factorial. I'm going to leave it as 3 factorial. We're going to leave it as 3 factorial. Okay. Actually, we need to work it out. 2 divided by 3 factorial is, I don't know if you remember, 3 times 2 times 1. Okay. And then x minus 1 to the power of 3. And then the next one is 6. 4 factorial is just like before, 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, x minus 1 to the power of 4 plus the. Okay, so we can see that actually we're going to leave the factorial sign out, so this is, so we can clearly see the patterns. So we have divided by 1, divided by 2, because 2 factorial is simply 2, 1 factorial is 1, 0 factorial is 1, but 0 divided by 1 is still 1 0, sorry, still 0. Okay, so the first term is actually 0. 0 plus, just leave it like that. If you want 0 plus x minus 1 for 1, and then minus x minus 1 over 2, and then positive. In this case we can cancel this, sorry, this, and instead do it in green, cancel that with that, so we only have 3. And then again 6 is 3 times 2, so we have x minus 1 to the power of 4 divided by 4, not 4 factorial. Okay, we already remove all the factorial sign, which is a good idea, so that we can work out the patterns. Okay, so now we have to find what would be the patterns of this power series expansion. So we have our function which is ln x. We need to find the notation. Okay, sorry, we need to find the power series notation of our function, okay, which is starting from 0 to infinity. As you can see, the first term is 0, and then the second term x minus 1, and then the third term, and so on. But what you also notice is the alternating sign. So I just put it in green. This is positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. I don't know if you remember the sign for the symbol or the notation of alternating sign is either be negative 1 raised to the power of n or negative 1 raised to the power of n plus 1. Which one of these is correct? So we're going to see the patterns. Okay, for example, we have here x minus 1, okay, as our first raised to the power of 1. Okay, so we have all the terms here, 1 2 3 4 and so on. We have x minus 1, all of them. So write down the common nomination or common factor, a common element, in this case x minus 1, and then it's just a matter of finding which of these two, negative 1 to the power of n or negative 1 raised to the power of n plus 1. And but before we do that, let's work out the other terms here. So this is raised to the power of 1 2 3 4 and so on, and this is our first, this is 0 term, first, second, so it is consistent, 2 2, yeah, 1 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. So we can say that this is raised to the power of something, and then the division here is also the same, because as you can see, this is 1, this is also 1, this is 2, or this is also 2, right? However, this is actually the second term, this is the first term, right? The first term, second terms, okay, starting from 0, and that's why in that case our sigma notation, rather, because we have starting from n equals to 0, okay, n equal to 0 is if we start n equals to 0, for our first term must be 0, okay, that's why we need to, okay, for the first term here must be n plus 1, because if you substitute n equals to 0, okay, 0 plus 1 is 1, so it's the same. Okay? This is also 0 plus 1 is 1, so it's the same, right? And then for the alternating sign, we just choose in this case is this one. The reason for that is because for the first term is actually, for the second term, which is this one, okay, the sign is positive. Okay, this sign here is actually negative 0. So I put here negative. Okay, negative, positive, negative, positive. So the 0 here is actually negative 0, but we can consider it as 0. Okay, so the first term here, the second term is positive. So for the second term is negative 1 to the time raised to the power of 2 is positive. That is why the most suitable sign for our alternating sign here is that one. Okay, negative 1 raised to the power of n. So if you check, okay, at n equals to, this is 1, okay, this is 0, this is 1. At n equal, this is the second term basically. Second term is 1 in this case. So it, let me just, for 0, when it is first term negative, the sign is second terms. Okay, I think it's more suitable if we put negative 1 raised to the power of n plus 1. Okay, like that, no problem. So for the first term, if you put 0, okay, 0, negative 1 to the power of 0 is positive. So negative 1 will be negative, and then for the second term here, x minus 1, if you put 1, then it becomes 1 plus 1 is 2, negative 1 to the power of 2 is positive. So that's the sign is positive. Okay, and then when it is the third, okay, or number second, 2 plus 1, the sign is negative. And then number 4, the sign is negative in there, like that. Okay, so that will be the summary. Okay, the summary of the short term, if you like. Okay, the short term of the function, which is sigma x minus 1 raised to the power of n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 multiplied by negative 1 raised to the power of n plus 1.